Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lord Exsus, and I would very much like to welcome you all to Dungeons & Dragons Neverwinter. Now, Neverwinter is the massively multiplayer online game that is based off, of course, the Dungeons & Dragons and Neverwinter Night series. And I have played this game quite extensively on the PlayStation 4. However, I've never played it on PC and wanted to get back into it, because it actually has an amazing story and is actually quite a good game, apart from having, of course, all of the microtransactions for bag spaces and all that horrible stuff that modern MMOs have. But I wanted to get back in and play it at the best possible quality, and that is on PC. So that's what I'm going to do. Maybe you want to join me. I don't know if I'm going to do a lot of episodes on this, or whether it's just going to be one here and there, because it's an MMO, so it's going to take fucking ages to do anything. But anyway, with that being said, I think it's about time we get in. So let's do this thing.
To brace yourselves for this. Well, that didn't go so badly.
Get his attention. Cleric, with me.
Okay guys, and here we are in character creation. That was quite an awesome intro as well. Very Dungeons and Dragons, very Neverwinter. I like it. Okay, so character creation is quite straightforward, obviously. This will be one of the only times you don't see me playing as the character and mage of my namesake, which is Exsus. Indeed, this time you'll see me playing as a human. And we go across to here, and I am going to be a Scourge Warlock, which in this specific game is the damage dealing mage. There are other things, apparently there's something coming soon. There's the Oathbound Paladin, the Control Wizard, which is the traditional mage in this game, but it's exactly as suggested, it is a control type, because each of these is a new subcategory of classes that already exist within the D&D universe. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to be a Scourge Warlock, which is the damage dealing, sort of not quite necromancer, but damage dealing caster anyway. Right, we'll continue, and you get these stat rolls at the beginning, of course. The charisma score is the most important thing to a Scourge Warlock, so we want +2 in charisma. But we just need to re-roll them a little bit, see how high we can get them. And 20 is a good one for charisma. And again, it's our primary attribute. We cast our magic innately, not through intelligence. Intelligence could do with a buff because it is a secondary stat, as is constitution, but they're still higher than everything else. So that's good enough for now. Okay, we've got appearance presets as well. If I click on this guy over here, and we'll customize from there. Okay, it's relatively extensive. It's not too bad actually. This will take me a little while. Sorry, I can't cut this bit out for you guys. I have no editing, so you're gonna have to bear with. Let's scroll in on this guy's face. Let's see how we get it. He looks completely and utterly derpy at the moment. I need a relatively evilish looking face. So young face, well, one will do for now. Okay, what hair do we have? Of course, we're going to go for the emo flick, because why wouldn't we? And we want that jet black. That face needs to change. That isn't the right face from what I was thinking of. Yeah, I think it's this one. I think. But we'll see soon anyway. Eyes, okay. Okay, and the colour of them is going to be closer to necrosis. So we want green or red. Well, we have no red, so they're going to have to be green. Right, we currently have thick number 1 for eyebrows. I think thick number 1's actually going to have to do it, guys. So no facial hair, not going for that. One thing I am definitely going for, though, if they are still on here, because we are looking as goth as possible, is yes, we are going for the fading isn't the one I want. I want that, but without the lip liner if possible. We don't do lipstick, guys. Or maybe we have to. It's not something I was thinking of. Interesting. It's not something I was thinking of. And if we can move a few other things, there's not a lot we can actually mess around with there. Unfortunately, I want to change the neck size. We can change the neck length, but not its width. It's a little annoying. Okay, it doesn't matter so much. If I just return to basic, I'll just quickly look over these one more time because I can quickly go back through that. Interesting. I don't think any of this will make much of a difference. And I apologise again, guys. This is me being stupidly pedantic for no apparent reason. How do we get rid of the tattoos is the issue. Sorry, not the tattoos, the freckles. We don't want that on our character. No facial hair, thank you very much. Guess we could actually have his neck a little bit higher that way. It looks like it's stretched out a little bit more. Body shape, we're going for slim because he's a caster. And body scaling, we don't worry about that. We'll continue. Okay, so we have different character openings. For this, I'm going to choose that we came from the North Dark. Faerun's Underdark is a network of subterranean tunnels, caverns, seas and rivers that spans the entire world. Beneath the lands north and east of Waterdeep and Neverwinter lies a vast, notorious domain called the North Dark. You have survived and escaped one of the infamous slave pits of the North Dark, seeking sanctuary in the surface world. So that's our backstory. We're an escaped slave. We can also be... We're going to be an Underdark exile is actually what we're going to be. So you have violated the laws of your people in the North Dark and have been banished to the surface world. Okay. These deity affiliation, they don't do much, at least initially. So, I'm going to go with this because Ogma is to do with wizards and casting. Saloon is another good one because it's to do with night and we are kind of leaning towards the dark side. Anyway, we should carry on. Sorry guys, it took like 15 minutes to create my character, but hey, I just wanted to go through that. We're going to be stuck with this guy for the rest of the game, so I want to make sure he looks at least how I want him to look. Anyway, let's carry on. So, this is the Scourge Warlock, and his name is going to be Cyanide, because yeah, that's what I do.
Are you alright?
Move around using the W, A, S, and T keys.
Okay, sorry about that. If during that brief little cutscene you guys saw a network window saying whether or not I was allowed or allowing this program to run, I didn't know that was going to happen, so that was a bit of a pain. And here we are. We're in the game. We're loaded in anyway. That's not going to happen again. And luckily, again, the PC version of this is the best because we can zoom in as far as here and we can zoom all the way out as well. You can't even do that on console. Trust, I played it. I know. Anyway. It looks like the Dracolich attacked our ship, so we need to go over here and talk to this gentleman, Private Wilfred. Hello, Private Wilfred.
Private Wilfred. Press F when close to talk to him.
Let's do exactly what the disembodied voice says.
Thank the gods! When I saw the Dracolich attack the ship, I was afraid there would be no survivors. What brings you to Neverwinter in such troubled times?
I'm going to claim I don't remember because I actually don't.
Being attacked by a Dracolich and then nearly drowned is quite a shock to the system. I'm sure it will come back to you. In the meantime, you should search the beach for your gear. It's not safe here with Valindra's undead prowling around. When you finish, head up to the camp at the top of the hill. They've got a nice warm fire up there. You'll feel better once you've dried out.
Okay, thank you for that, Private Wilfred. I will do just that.
The quest path leads to your next objective.
Okay, and as the disembodied voice has said...
Waypoints appear on the map to mark your quest's objectives.
He has just told us this sparkly path leads to our next objective, and this game runs really well and looks quite pretty, actually. Okay.
Press F to interact with characters and objects.
So press the F button. Ragged tunic, and over here.
Press I to open your inventory. Double-click an item to equip it.
Okay, good to know. So we have a ragged tunic, which we now have equipped, and we have a brittle pack blade.
To toggle mouse cursor and mouse look modes.
It's going to be my inventory screen to there, so...
The quest tracker displays current quest objectives.
So thank you for pointing that out. And this is our armor as a beginning... I was going to say Necromancer, Scourge Warlock. It looks quite cool because it's half light, half heavy. It's not medium armor at all, but it looks half and half, and it looks cool as fuck. We are going full necrotic. We are going to look like a Billy Badass by the time we finish this. Everyone is going to fear us, and that's what we want to do. Strike fear in the hearts of your enemies. And another thing I love so much about Neverwinter, it's probably easier to do it on controller than mouse and keyboard. That would not surprise me. But yeah, we don't have a valid target. Is the target reticle here, the white circle, is your aiming reticule, so it plays like a third person, or in some cases, depending on what you would call that, a first person shooter just aiming down sight, which is quite cool for any RPG, especially an old school Dungeons and Dragons type one. Anyway, let's move on.
Campfires or rest zones where out of combat players may heal.
Yeah, so we come to the campfire and it heals us, which is beautiful, just like it would in a D&D game, apart from we don't actually have to hit a rest button. Okay, let's talk to Lieutenant Linkletter.
Good to meet you. It's good to see someone survive the attack on the ship. When you feel ready, please speak to me again. I'm afraid I need your help.
I see, sir, I see. Important to know, everything on this version of the game, on the PC version, is whacked up to full spec. So the fact that it's probably playing at 60 FPS probably depends if we hit stuttering areas or whatever based on internet. But all the graphics are set to the highest they can be. They can't possibly be any higher, and it still plays beautifully. Anyway, complete quest. So next quest we're going to accept off him is Battlefield Triage. Give first aid to the wounded soldiers.
Valindra's main force, the battle is far from over. The battlefield is crawling with mindless undead who lost their masters in the fighting. To make matters worse, the enemy is raising our dead to use against us. Acolyte Naaman is performing a ritual of Kelenvor to lay the newly dead to rest. That is sure to draw an attack here. I must stay and make sure Naaman finishes her ritual. Could you search the battlefield for any wounded we missed and send them here? After you finish with the wounded, go to Del McCourt's camp and tell him our situation.
Okay, I will do that thing, Lieutenant Linkletter. Beautiful, beautiful things. Obviously, since it's an MMO, we have our character up in the top corner. This is our character sheet. We are Cyanide, the Scourge Warlock. Our health, our natural stats, which obviously our charisma is the highest. Doesn't say our mana because in this it's not mana. Each spell, such as this down here, Eldritch Blast, has a cooldown. Tells you the range of it as well. 80. I'm not sure if that's yard range, but it has a range. Anyway, these are the powers, so on and so forth. This is our history. Yes, once again, we can enter our character's own personal biography, which I will be doing at some point. We can also set titles. At the moment, I only have Of the North Dark or Ormurite, because those are background ones. Ormurite being the god we worship, supposedly, and Origin the North Dark. We will get more titles as we go along. These are our powers. The general powers are the human abilities. We do have Shadow Slip, which is our run ability. You'll see that momentarily, and that is very necrotic. It's like gliding through the air. Heroic Effort and Versatile Defense are both human abilities, and we have Arcana, Lesser Curse, Paragon Power, which we haven't got yet, that unlocks at level 30, and Soul Puppet, which is a mechanic which allows us to summon a Soul Puppet, or at least will allow us to summon a Soul Puppet, and that's the thing that also attacks enemies as well. In time you'll see how that works. But yeah, this is our tree of skills and powers as they go down, and as they develop there's more and more. I don't think the cap's level 70, but I think that may be when we stop getting powers, but then again it goes on to other things. We have feats, and we can go into 3 different lines of skill feats at a certain level for every class in the game. We also have boons, which come from completing actually the story campaigns of the game. So a lot of shit to go into there. Companions and mounts. So that's everything there. Anyway, I won't bore you with the details right now. Let's get further in.
Click to launch an Eldritch Blast at a single enemy.
I will indeed do that thing. So there's a zombie, rotter. Left click to launch an Eldritch Blast. Yes, very powerful. And we cast that with a dagger, by the way. That's how badass we are. Yeah, nothing's going to stand up against us here. Have some necrosis, you bitch. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. So, you need healing.
Am I glad you came along?
Well, I was sent by Lieutenant Linklater.
I need healing.
Oh, I was going to attack you. My bad. Have some healing.
Thanks.
Cool. There's one of you over here. Let me just get rid of this zombie. Awesome, awesome.
Thanks.
Okay, so we're done. We can get out of the area now. Only needed to heal 3 of them. Nice little tutorializing section on how to interact. Very modern, very smooth. Yeah, I actually, as far as I know, the Scourge Warlock is one of the most hated classes in this game because everyone wants to be it because it's a standard DPS spell class. So nobody chooses it for dungeons and such. So therefore, I might not be getting many parties or teams later in the game, which is a shame. Because this game actually has a really fucking good story, and it's probably one of the best iterations of a modern
Spacebar to jump.
Dungeons and Dragons game. It's just a shame about the way it's been implemented. And with completing that quest, we are now level 2.
The guide displays everything you get for leveling up. It may also offer important quests.
Okay, so we have a leveling guide. I can't remember if you have this on console. I'm going to slot this down here for now. And a new willpower, Dark Spiritual or Spiral Aura awaits. So, Dark Spiral Aura. So, according to this, we have 2 points to spend in certain things. So, I am indeed can't do Killing Flames because that's not available yet. So, I'm going to do Dark Spiral Aura. I can't upgrade that to rank 2. That's just become available. More than that, apparently. What can I do? Oh no, points spent is 2, points available is 0, so I am wrong. I am very wrong. Anyway, that is our right click button according to that according to the bottom of the screen there where my bar is. I can see it. Do that, we create 1. Every time we kill an enemy, another one will manifest. Up to a maximum of 3 to begin with, I believe. And then you can aim at an enemy, and when an enemy's in the area, when you have 3 circling around you, you can press the right on the mouse button, and you fire all 3 at them, creating massive damage. Anyway, let's talk to Delmacourt.
We were lucky to drive Valindra's forces back.
So let's complete battlefield triage.
Thank you for aiding the wounded. They wouldn't have survived much longer with all the undead roving about. I'll try to get medical supplies and reinforcements to Linkletter as soon as possible. Unfortunately, we've got problems of our own here.
Okay, and what problems of your own do you have, Delmacourt?
I'm afraid I have a gruesome task for them. We've driven Valindra's main army off, but Red Wizard allies are still harassing us with summoned undead. Private Hothedorn is trying to drive them off with his archers, but they're short on ammo. Search the battlefield and scavenge some arrows from the dead, and then take them to Hothedorn.
So we actually have to search the battlefield and take arrows from dead bodies. That is pretty grim. And you notice down here it tells us our rewards. We only get 5 experience and 4 copper. 5 experience was enough to take us from level 2 to level 3, or level 1 to level 2. I can't remember what it was. The last thing we leveled up. So there is a, you know, leveling up in Dungeons and Dragons games is always slow and always takes very little experience in comparison with a lot of RPGs. But hey, okay, so we don't need to rest here or do anything because we are already rested. Let's go kill some shit.
Right click to launch a dark spiral at an enemy, or create a spiral if you don't have one.
I will, but now I've got 2, let's just see what this does. So, boom, dead in 1, and 1 died, so we got 1 back. Like I said, I think the maximum is 3 for now. Anyway, let's collect some arrows. I think we do have to collect 9, I can see it down there. But there's a gent over here. This is the guy we saw in the cutscene at the beginning. This is Makos. So, what have you got to say, Makos?
I will answer your questions if I can, but do not break my concentration.
And I can't remember what species Makos is. Is that Tiefling? Is that what these people are called? They look like demons. But anyway, what happened here?
Valindra had a Dracolich under her control when she attacked Neverwinter. It attacked ships in the harbor, and then came straight for the city. My friends and I were helping Sergeant Knox defend the walls when it attacked. There was a terrific battle, and we were able to defeat it.
Yes, we saw part of that in the intro clip. So you actually managed to defeat the Dracolich. Good job.
I don't know how Valindra got a Dracolich. Perhaps a deal with the cult of the dragon. The important thing is that we deprive her of it. When a Dracolich is killed, its spirit returns to a special phylactery. From there, it can possess the body of another dragon and be reborn. This Dracolich's spirit has not departed yet. I am trying to bind it here. If it cannot return to the phylactery, we may be able to destroy it and deprive Valindra of a powerful ally.
That's a damn good point, Makos. That really is. And this, the threat we're fighting, or the threat that's attacking Neverwinter as we speak, is the Lich Queen Valindra Shadowmantle. Not one I've heard of before playing this game, so she was new at this point. This is kind of her story. But yeah, Valindra Shadowmantle. And she's obviously powerful enough to find and manage to possess a Dracolich, so a dragon skeleton, which is quite nasty. Anyway, good luck with that, Makos. We're going to be moving on, because we have stuff to do. Namely, kill some skeletons. And we have our 3. You can fuck off right there. Awesome. I'll take them. Cool, cool. Grinding in this game doesn't really do much for you. You have to do quests. If you want to level, you have to do quests. You can grind and fight bosses on part of the campaign thing later. I'll explain that momentarily. That was a glitched animation. That happens a lot in this. Engraved bronze ball. Take all. Thank you. Yes, where is it? I'm not sure what part of game it is. Stronghold events, nice guild management. It's basically campaigns, a campaign section, but I'm not sure. We go to boons. We go down the side of campaign. The Tyranny of Dragons is the natural campaign of the game, and unfortunately, we can't actually see the campaign map on here. This is kind of part of it, the Sword Coast Chronicles and the Tyranny of Dragons campaign, but there's a bigger map, but I can't. There we go, view campaign, here we go. This is where we will start. At a certain level, we will get here, Form of the Dragon, and that will give us these boons. So it gets very in-depth. You have to do things that you repeat dailies and weeklies to get boons, but they're also part of the storyline, and there's an overarching map for all of them. And this is just one campaign, one module of this game. There is obviously a lot more than just that going on. So, yeah, that's the thing. Anyway, you can die. Nice. And we'll carry on to Private Hawthorne. Yeah, I have discovered a new camp. So a new spawn point is active. I'll just plop these back in your barrels. You can fire up at those nasty red wizards up there. Yeah, absolutely rubbish at hitting them. But anyway, Private Hawthorne.
We must drive the wizards back.
Must you now?
Thank you for the help. The red wizards haven't been driven away, but this will at least force them to keep their heads down.
Good. And we are now level 3, and that was another 5 experience to done that. Anyway, tell me about the Sleeping Dragon Bridge.
More undead are attacking Neverwinter. They're boiling out of Castle Never and storming the Sleeping Dragon Bridge. If the bridge falls, they will enter the heart of the city. Protector's Enclave. I must stay and deal with the red wizards. Please, go to the bridge and aid the defenders. Destroy the undead soldiers near the gate to our north so it may be opened safely. Then talk to Private Wilfred. He will get you inside the city and show you the way to the bridge. Be careful, these undead are more aggressive than others you fought. Tempest grant you strength.
Thank you, Private Hawthorne, and we've leveled up again, so let's see what's new. And we've now got Killing Flames. And Killing Flames is done on the Q button. What does Killing Flames do? Use your target's suffering to fuel infernal flames around them. Damage is increased based on the percentage of target's missing hit points, reaching your maximum potential, which they are at 25% hit points. Killing the target with his power builds 25% more action points and spawns a soul puppet. Beautiful things. So we now know that Killing Flames should be used when we weaken these guys down to that, and we hit that. And of course, then we get a soul puppet. Look at my beautiful. You are my precious, aren't you? You are my pretty. That's what you are, you gorgeous thing, you. Let's move on.
You to cast Killing Flames. Killing an enemy with this spell spawns a soul puppet.
Nice. Beautiful. Oh, she is so beautiful. Yes, you are. I'm going to call you Tiffany. Your name is Tiffany, soul puppet. It suits you. No one messes with Tiffany. Anyway, I've killed all the soldiers I need to now, but we'll just fuck with these guys a little bit. They are so weak in comparison. I just wiped the floor with like 5 of them. Okay, no more dicking around. It's unfair. They can't compete. Come on, Tiffany. By the way, Tiffany doesn't last forever. She does eventually disintegrate. Hello, Private Wilfred. You somehow managed to get ahead of me. I don't know how, but you did.
Hello again. You're looking a good deal fiercer than when you washed up on the beach. Told you trying out by the fire would do you good. My mother always says, warm clothes make for a warm heart. You've thinned out the skeletons enough that we should be able to slip through the gate safely. Linklater gave me some healing potions for you. You may need them on the bridge.
Thank you. Well, we better hurry. Okay, let's move on.
Left click on a visible location to travel to it.
So, we need to go to the Sleeping Dragon Bridge. Yes, please.
They're in trouble! We must go to their aid!
Okay, so you heard Wilfred. People are dying.
All shift to shadow slip and disperse into a cloud of shadow, making you
So this is
temporarily more resistant to damage. Do not shadow slip when your stamina is low.
So we got Tiffany back, and in case you guys didn't hear what he was saying and I was talking over it, this is Shadow Slip. It's my run ability. Very demonic. Very necromancery. Anyway, let's move on.
They just keep coming!
They can come all they want. Me and Tiffany are the ultimate team. Awesome. Did not stand a chance. Come on, Tiffany. And you too, Private Wilfred. Awesome.
What in the nine hells is that?
Okay, I took a little damage from that, but we've gained the ability to ride a mount now, but
Press 1 to use Brood of Hadar. Overwhelm your target with shadows, holding them in place while dark horrors rise around them.
we have Shadow Walk, of course, we've viewed that, and we have the Brood of Hadar as that disembodied voice.
When your action points are full.
Okay, so the disembodied voice just mentioned that we now have the Brood of Hadar. So when that dice in the centre becomes full, like it is now, we can use a really strong, over-the-top power. I'm not going to do that yet. And because of the caster I am, I stood out the way of that. Wilfred? Okay, Wilfred did not help. Yeah, because of the caster I am, I managed to stay out the way of the enemy's arrows. So I'll just pick up this loot and then we'll fight this boss.
Pick up loot.
So easy. But I did use my daily straight off the bat, to be fair. So we got some unidentified boots and a scroll. I believe a scroll of identification. Let's go and take a look at poor Wilfred. You idiot.
Sorry, should have been more cautious. But when I thought of all my friends who died because of her... Find Sergeant Knox and tell him what happened. Ask him to check on my mother from time to time.
Yeah, hang on. We'll get help.
You have to stop her. Lord Neverember is no saint, but he's better than the alternative. If Neverember fails here, Valindra will rule Neverwinter. Find Sergeant Knox. He's one of Neverember's guards, one of the good ones. You must stop Valindra.
We're sorry, Wilfred. Rest in peace, my friend.
Greetings, adventurer. I am Sergeant Knox. This city owes you a debt of gratitude. Please, follow me. Many of the citizens here wish to thank you personally. Follow me. We lost a lot of good people today.
Okay, let's follow him.
The Harbinger appearing so close to the walls does not bode well for the safety of the Enclave.
He walks very fucking slowly.
I understand you lost quite a few of your belongings when the ship you were on was destroyed by the Dracolich. Talk to Supply Sergeant Quinn. He'll get you sorted out.
Okay.
Hello, adventurer. I heard about what happened on the bridge. You stopped the Harbinger. We all owe you a debt. Knox asked me to set you up with some clothes to replace those you lost. I'm afraid I don't have anything fancy, but at least they're warm. Take a look in the chest.
Will do. Okay, let's do that. Basic leather tunic and basic leather pants.
Follow me. Lord Neverever has asked me to take charge of organizing the city's defenses. Part of that charge is hiring brave adventurers like yourself to defeat threats before they end up at our gates.
Okay.
To that end, please look in the chest for a token of my appreciation for your efforts today.
Will do. Worn pack blade. What the last mission said it was going to give us as a reward.
I have some more work for you if you're interested.
I am, but first things first. I want to equip that, which it now is in my main hand. We can have an idol, I believe, in our second hand. Boundless and scroll of identification can be used on the boots, and we now have baleful boots that give us +2 defense compared to patch shoes that give us nothing. So we'll have them on. Later on you can also dye all of your armor, and it's nowhere near as expensive as it is in other games, and you can actually make a fairly nice looking outfit, especially for our guy who's now sort of goth rock emo. That'll be a thing. And again, this plays and runs beautifully on PC in comparison with on console. On console I've played it on both consoles that also have it on, by the way, and it runs like a garbage fire, a complete hot mess, and this in comparison is beautiful. However, I have run out of time for this video today, guys, and sorry I took so long to create my character, but if I'm playing as this guy, I want him to look the way I want him to look. If it's going to be for hours, I will do another episode on this, because I think this game has good pacing and it's exciting most of the way through. It doesn't really dull like other games. In fact, it keeps a nice consistent pace, and it looks alright and plays alright, and it should be quite fun. Yeah, it should be quite fun to do. So we're on the adventures of Cyanide. However, yes, I have run out of time for this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I very much enjoyed playing. And as usual, I have been Lord Exsus. And I'll see you guys in the next video. In a bit.